Hey, I'm Marty Schupak for Schupak Sports, and today you're tuning into a T-ball mini clinic. If you're a parent of a T-ball player, if you're a T-ball coach, if you're involved in your league board of directors as a commissioner or president of a league or a district administrator, you're going to find this useful. I'm going to go over three different drills, but don't leave because at the end I dug up from my archives, which I've been doing lately, the three drills that I'm going to describe. Okay, or if you can, if you like what you see, you don't have to do it now, but if you do it now, it'd be great. Please subscribe. Let's get right into this. This is a drill I began doing actually with my own kids. It's a simple drill. It's called Miss the Tee. So rather than hitting the ball off the tee, I devised something. And what I did is I took a wiffle ball bat, one of those yellow plastic bats, and I want to challenge the player in a way where he'll be successful. Okay. And I put a string at the end of the plastic bat and I have a tee. And I just had my son at the time. I told him, swing the bat, and I don't want you to hit the tee. I want you to swing between the rope and the tee. Okay. Now, you could create success for the player. Obviously, when you raise the rope, there is more space, and he'll be able to get the bat through without hitting the rope or the tee. It's a good drill. It helps them focus. There's a lot of success. And listen, when you're approaching your T-ball season, it's so important for the kids to have a positive experience. I'm one of the most competitive guys you're ever going to see. Trust me, you're going to have plenty of time for that a couple of years down the road. Keep T-ball simple. All right. I've said it before. I began saying it that, in a way in T-ball leagues, when you're playing a game, you throw away the rule book. And what I mean by that is sometimes the rule book says if a player's up there in a game and he swings and misses like 5 times, you got to go to the next batter. No, don't do that. You have to have the player succeed. If you bring different size balls, don't have him leave the batter's box without having a chance of being successful. What I've done too, I've put bigger size balls if they miss, especially early in the season. I've done a drill where I put a brand new bathroom plunger in a tee and I put a kickball on top. This way they can hit it. Another idea is I'm a big believer in having a focal point where the kids could focus. You could put a piece of tape and tell the player to watch the bat hit the tape. What works better than this, I began using animal stickers, okay? Don't let your league tell you in games you can't use them. Please do everything you can to make the player be successful. Your goal is you want the player to come back the following year. Remember, we're building a lifetime love of baseball and softball. We don't want to drive them away. So quickly, let me go over that again. It's Mr. T. I tie a piece of rope at the end of a plastic, I'm sorry, this could be anything, a stick, and he's using a plastic bat, and you raise it or lower it. It's a 1 or 2 minute drill, but it's very, very effective. Again, you're going to see a video of this at the end. The next drill is a throwing drill, and I'm going to give a few different hints. What I do is I put a uh, blue painter's tape across the fence, all right? And make sure you get permission from your league. I use like pickleballs when I'm doing this drill. So I have a line and I'm challenging the player to throw in a direction, number one, but number two, I'm going to give them a target. And what I'm doing is before they throw, I'm going to yell either over or under. If I yell over, they got to throw the ball over the blue tape. If I yell under, they got to throw it under the tape. You have to spread out the players. Safety is your first priority, okay? Um, Keep in mind too, and I said this over and over, when you're doing throwing with young T-ball players, the ball could go all over the place like it's bombs away. If you have them thrown to a target, it'll help steady the head, which in turn will sort of direct the throw. They're not going to usually hit the target, okay? Like if you set up a rig or a balloon or something on a fence. But just having something for them to focus on will stay to their head. So again, this is the over-under drill. You put a piece of blue tape, go across, give the kids rag balls, not hard balls or soft cover balls, and you yell either over or under. Spread them out. It's a good drill. It works. You're going to see it at the end. Okay. Keep in mind too, on with throwing, some parents get frustrated if their next door neighbor's kid is a better thrower than them. Even if sometimes it happens if they're a year younger, kids develop differently, especially from the ages 5 to puberty. All right. You'll find kids that have older brothers and sisters are a little more advanced if they're athletic, if the brothers and sisters are athletic, if they play ball, because the young kids will go out and play with their older brothers and sisters. Now, what I've been doing too in these mini clinics, I love baseball. I'm kind of a historian. I love baseball history. I pointed out in the last couple of clinics different places to go to if you're around the country in the summer. I mentioned the Baseball Hall of Fame. I mentioned Hoboken, New Jersey, that has a claim for the first game. I also want to mention if you're near New York City, north of it, and if you might want to do it, I don't know if you have an extra half a day. It's called the Gates of Heaven Cemetery in Hawthorne, New York. It's about a 40-minute ride north of Manhattan. That's where Babe Ruth is buried. And it's fascinating. I go to it every couple of years, but the most fascinating thing is what the fans leave on the grave. You'll see baseballs, you'll see bats, different things to great tribute to the great Babe. So that's the Gates of Heaven Cemetery. You'll see Babe Ruth's grave. And if you're up there, by the way, the cemetery adjacent to it, and you could ask any of the workers because people come up there all the time. You'll see Lou Gehrig's headstone. He's buried in the cemetery next to it. They're both within like 5 minutes. And Lou also has a lot of tributes there, not as much as the Babe, of course. All right, so let's go back. Now, catching is difficult, catching fly balls. And what you want to do is you want to build confidence. The worst thing you could do, and I saw it when my kids first started T-ball, and I was not an assistant coach or anything. They had the kids start having a catch. They didn't even have soft covered T-balls or incredibles, regular hard balls. I saw two kids get hurt and they never stepped on the field again after that. And I'm telling you, the two biggest things that drive kids away from T-ball are number one, injury, and number two, embarrassment amongst their peers. You want it to be successful. When they're catching, you have to use soft covered balls. I like the idea of not using gloves early in the season. But another idea is I took the old, what I called scatch, they used to call it scatch, where you have a Velcro paddle, and I'll throw a Velcro ball up in the air like this, and they'll catch it. All we're doing is we want to give players confidence. And this is also a fun drill when you're throwing it up in the air. They really like this. Okay. The other thing is if you're doing drills with fly balls too with young kids, and if you are going to have them use their gloves, what you might want to do at the beginning is you don't necessarily want them to catch it. You maybe just want them to make contact with the ball in their glove, okay? Keep in mind, a lot of the gloves that the parents will buy, um, they're lousy gloves, what I call pancake gloves. They're flat. It's so hard to catch them. The best gloves you could get for these kids are gloves that they inherit. All right, so let's go over that again. It's the Sketch field and drill, mostly on fly balls. The Velcro ball will attach to the paddle, and it's a good drill. Kids love doing that. So those are 3 drills. Stick around. I have the videos of each one that I dug up, and you'll see. Oh, as far as products, if you're new to T-ball, this is probably my best-selling book of all my books. T-ball skills and drills. I highly recommend it. If you want more drills, T-ball drills, this book has 110 T-ball drills. And again, don't spend money if you don't have it. Go to your library reference department, ask them if they'd get it. They'll be reluctant because I self-publish, but insist upon it and have your league insist upon it. If you're going to be coaching for a long time, here's my pictures. Baseball Coaching, great book. You'll always refer to it. Okay, so that's it, as I have to pick up the pictures. So let's go right to the videotape.
Miss the tee. A challenging exercise for young kids is for the coach or parent to tie a rope at the end of a bat or pole. The rope is then hung over the batting tee with room for a bat to pass between the tee and the end of the rope. The player must swing the bat without hitting the batting tee or the rope. As the player swings through the empty space, which promotes bat control and hand-eye coordination, the coach will lower the rope, making the space even harder for the player to pass the bat through without touching either object. Coaches can even hold out a plastic bat instead of the rope contraption. This drill will condition T-ball players to swing at the ball on top of the tee without hitting the tee over with their swing, which is common in T-ball. High-low throw drill. This is a drill that some players may get and others may not. Run either a rope or a strip of blue painter's tape across a fence. Have players spaced apart and with pickleballs.
Low.
Call out either high or low.
Ready. High.
On the high command, the player must throw the ball above the blue tape.
Ready. Low.
On the low command, the player must throw the ball below the blue tape.
Ready. High.
This is a great drill for working on basic throwing techniques and accuracy. Coaches and parents should be encouraged to break up each skill at first, so a player will either throw or catch a ball. The coach can eventually progress to combining the skills.
Ready, low. Ready, low.
Velcro catch. One of the hardest skills for young players to succeed at is to catch a fly ball hit to them. In fact, one of the best ways to turn a player off from the game of baseball is for him to get hit with a fly ball in the face. The Velcro fly ball drill will help players gain confidence in catching the fly ball, and their fear of getting hurt by the ball will be diminished. With the Velcro paddle, the coach will first just throw the ball a short distance. He can then move further apart and finally hit the Velcro ball with a racket.
High pop. Oh, what a catch. Ready?
Giving the player confidence will enable him to progress to the next level of using their glove to catch a tennis ball or a pickleball. And finally, the T-ball itself. A good beginning concept for players using their gloves for the first time is to tell them they do not have to catch the ball. They simply need to make contact with their glove. Remember, you want the players to achieve as much success as possible